A search is continuing into the night for 6 people missing after a British luxury yacht sank in a freak storm off Sicily early this morning. There were 22 people on board. 15 were rescued. 1 person is confirmed as having died. Among those still unaccounted for is the tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch. It's thought the yacht may have been caught in what's known as a waterspout, a tornado which hits over water rather than land. Our correspondent Mark Lowen is in Sicily tonight. Mark.
Jane, the search operation is continuing here in Porticello. We are close to the Sicilian capital, Palermo, and you can see the emergency teams hard at work behind me. Obviously, their work is now hampered by the lack of lights. Now, it is thought that 6 of the 22 passengers are still missing and that they were sleeping in their cabins at about 5 o'clock this morning when the super yacht, the luxury super yacht, was caught up by a rotating column of cloud that engulfed the ship. It stood little chance.
After the rescue, the retrieval, the sea giving up lives it snatched away. Since the early hours, emergency teams have been scouring the site, from the air and on the water where the yacht sank. 15 of the 22 on board were saved. Others, British, American, Canadian, weren't so lucky. The wreckage now some 50 meters below water, where the search is focusing. A luxury super yacht that had won awards for its design, but that became a death trap. The British-flagged Bayesian photographed last night off the port of Porticello in Sicily before being hit by a heavy storm and a waterspout. They are tornado-like clouds, a rotating column of air, which in this case smashed the mast and capsized the boat. These pictures nearby show the force of the winds at around 5 a.m. The yacht couldn't withstand them. Charlotte Golunski, the mother of a 1-year-old who also survived, spoke of holding her daughter above the water with her whole strength. All I could hear around me, she said, were the screams of others. A doctor who treated the baby gave an update.
A 1-year-old child arrived in our paediatric emergency room in Palermo together with her mother. The child is fortunately fine. The mother had injuries that we treated. The father had his wound stitched, and he was then reunited with the whole family.
The captain of another boat, hailed as a hero for rescuing the 15 at sea, spoke of the nightmare.
The other ship, strange enough, it's 55 meters, I think, with a 72 meters long mast. They went flat on the water, and then down. With a light, we saw that the ship was aside, and then we saw a triangle, so I think she went back down.
Terrible moments.
Yes, and in the life raft was also a little baby, and the wife of the owner.
Among those missing is the British multi-millionaire tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch and his 18-year-old daughter Hannah. His wife, Angela Baccaris, who was rescued, is listed as the yacht's owner. Its chef, Ricardo Thomas, is also unaccounted for. As the underwater search goes on, the fear is that bodies will be found trapped inside the submerged wreckage. Of those holidaying at sea, suddenly engulfed by freak weather that smashed what stood in its wake.
Well, tonight, Jane, local investigators have opened an investigation into what happened, and British prosecutors have also arrived here in Sicily to assess the scene. Now, the website of the super yacht had boasted that its 75-meter-high aluminium mast was the tallest in the world, but apparently it could not withstand the force of this waterspout. Now, waterspouts are relatively rare. They tend to appear in the tropics and the subtropics. Those in Europe are rare. Those that are fatal are even less common. So tonight it appears that the victims of this disaster were indeed caught up in this freak weather accident that resulted in tragedy.
Mark, thank you. Mark Lowen there. Well, as we've heard, among the missing is the British entrepreneur Mike Lynch. Our business editor Simon Jack explains what a significant figure he is in the field of technology.
Mike Lynch has been considered a giant of UK business for nearly 3 decades. A Cambridge PhD student who built a cutting-edge technology company before selling it for £9 billion to American giant HP who later accused the company of inflating their profits. That kicked off over a decade of legal wrangling that saw him extradited in handcuffs to the US to face fraud charges. In June, he walked free and less than 3 weeks ago described the moment the US jury acquitted him.
It's very hard to describe the moment. You're reliant on 12 ordinary people. Until you hear the words, you can't call it. And at that point, it's indescribable the way in which you jump between two universes.
HP still insists it was misled, and in 2018, Autonomy's chief financial officer was convicted of fraud. But Mike Lynch is still revered by other British technology founders.
Mike has always been seen as a legend and a titan and an inspiring figure for British entrepreneurs. That's because he both understands mathematics deeply and how you can use it to solve business problems.
Mike Lynch recently said he wanted to get back to doing what he enjoyed most, innovating. But tonight there are grave doubts he will get that chance. Simon Jack, BBC News.